Do you believe that President Trump is a racist?
I don't believe that's relevant to this hearing.
Do you believe that he is?
I'm not here to discuss my personal beliefs. I'm here to speak about the important work
You've
that
tweeted that
nonprofits
he's a
do
vile,
across the
despicable
country.
racist. Do you believe that much of his housing policy was racist during his first term?
I'm here to talk about the vital work that nonprofit
So you're not going to answer me?
do throughout our
You've
country
tweeted
and in
that
your district.
it's explicitly racist and deeply harmful. Is that right?
Hello, Patriots. Welcome back to Signal 76, where we break down the mechanics of American government so you can be an informed citizen. Today, we're diving deep into something that affects every American, but that most people don't fully understand: how congressional hearings actually work. Before we get started, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell, because understanding how your government operates is absolutely critical. Drop a comment below with your biggest question about congressional hearings. Smash that like button if you want to see more government education content. And stick around until the end, because I'm going to reveal the 3 biggest misconceptions people have about these hearings that could completely change how you view political news.
Thank you, Madam Chair, for holding this hearing. I'd like to begin with Ms. Yentl. You've written a lot about anti-racism and white fragility and things like that. Do you believe that President Trump is a racist?
I don't believe that's relevant to this hearing.
Do you believe that he is?
I'm not here to discuss my personal beliefs. I'm here to speak about the important work
You've
that
tweeted that
nonprofits
he's a
do
vile,
across the
despicable
country.
racist. Do you believe that much of his housing policy was racist during his first term?
I'm here to talk about the vital work that nonprofit
So you're not going to answer me?
do throughout
You've
our country
tweeted
and
that
in your district.
it's explicitly racist and deeply harmful. Is that right?
I don't have the tweet in front of me.
I've got it right here. You did tweet that. You tweeted that on September 25th, 2020. You said it's explicitly racist and deeply harmful. Do you know who President Trump's Secretary of Housing and Urban Development was during his first term?
Yes,
Who is it? Who was it?
it was Secretary Carson.
Is Ben Carson. Do you believe that Ben Carson is racist or a white supremacist?
With all due respect, sir, I am not here to talk about former HUD secretaries. I'm here to talk about the essential
tweeted
work
extensively
that
about it.
nonprofits do in your district and throughout the country.
Okay, we can move on then if you won't answer the question. Are you a racist?
With all due respect, sir, I'm here to talk about the essential work that nonprofits do.
Excuse me, that's a
throughout
very
the
simple
country.
question. Yes or no question. Are you a racist?
I'm not a racist.
You're not a racist. Particularly interesting because according to one of your affiliate charities under your nonprofit umbrella, denial of racism constitutes covert white supremacy. Are you a covert white supremacist?
Sir, I'm here to talk about the essential work that nonprofits do.
Are you a covert white supremacist?
Can I talk about the work that nonprofits do in
No,
your
I'm
district?
asking you if you're a
Because I think
covert
that's the-
white supremacist, which according to one of your own organizations, again, denial of racism constitutes covert white supremacy. Would you like to
I'm
answer
sorry,
the question?
I don't know what the question is.
So you refuse to answer whether you are a covert white supremacist.
I am here to talk about the essential work that nonprofits do. If you'd like to ask me a
I
question
am utterly
about
dumbfounded.
nonprofits
You are on
in your
record right now,
district
and you will
or
not say
throughout
that
the
you are not a
country.
covert white supremacist?
I don't have a definition in front of me. I haven't looked at the definition. I'm not going to answer a question about my personal
That is-
views. I'm here to talk about the work
You're
of
not-
nonprofit organizations.
No, I want to give you one more chance to do this. Are you a covert white supremacist?
Why are we so off track from the topic
No,
of
I'm
this
asking you a very straightforward question.
I've heard your question. Thank you, sir.
And you're not going to answer whether you are a covert white supremacist.
I would like to answer questions about the work
This
of
is-
nonprofit
wow, this is
organizations.
painful.
Thank you.
That is really, really astounding. I can answer very directly that I am not a covert white supremacist, and I imagine all of my colleagues can as well. I think you ought to reevaluate what you're doing in the nonprofit sector if you can't answer that in a straightforward way. That is astounding. Let me ask you another question. Do you believe that it's appropriate to host and promote LGBTQ plus meetups for 9-year-olds?
I am here to support the vital work of nonprofits, and I will say to oppose the federal government targeting groups.
My question is,
with
do you believe
views
it's
that are
appropriate to
different
host
from
and
its
promote
own?
LGBTQ plus meetups for 9-year-olds?
I believe that
Because
the
one of
federal
your
government
affiliate
should not
nonprofits
target
does do that.
organizations that have views different from its own. That is wrong, whatever party is in control, whatever administration
I think
is in control.
I think a
to
lot of this
use
is wrong.
federal
Do you
power.
think that it's appropriate for young children to use gender transition paraphernalia? Because one of your
no
not
idea
affiliated
what
nonprofit organizations gives bras, binders, breast forms, nipples. I'm not even going to repeat this because it's so
Point of order,
disgusting
Madam
for
Chair. The
children of all
gentleman is
ages.
breaching decorum and attacking the witness. Can we please
I'm
move on
not
to
attacking
something
the witness.
relevant
I'm
to
simply
the
asking a
actual
straightforward
issue at
question.
hand, sir?
Mr. Gill, I'll be extending your time. You've been interrupted.
Thank you. Thank you. Do you believe that art exploration camps for transgender and gender diverse youth of the age of 11 is normal?
We support the vital work of nonprofit organizations and oppose the federal government opposing
So you
and targeting
refuse to answer any of these
organizations
questions.
that use
You
different
refuse to
gender
even
roles.
answer the question of whether you are a covert white supremacist.
I'm not here to answer questions about my personal views or my personal
Is that because you don't want to disclose whether you're a covert white supremacist?
I'm here to talk about the essential
I'm
work
giving
that
you a chance
nonprofits
to
do.
tell the world that you are not a covert white supremacist.
Thank
Will
you
you
for the
do
chance.
that?
I'll pass on your chance.
You'll pass on
Thank
that.
you, sir.
That is astounding. That is really astounding. You're a radical far left activist, and you're masquerading as somebody promoting nonprofit, nonpartisan institutions, and you will not even tell this committee that you are not a covert white supremacist. That's astounding. I yield my time back.
The gentleman yields.
What you just heard was a real congressional hearing, and understanding what's actually happening during these exchanges is crucial for every American citizen. These hearings shape policy, determine funding, and hold government officials accountable. Yet most Americans have never been taught how they actually function. Let's start with the basics. Congressional hearings are formal meetings where members of Congress gather information, examine issues, and exercise their constitutional oversight responsibilities. There are three main types: oversight hearings that examine how federal agencies operate and spend taxpayer money, legislative hearings that consider new laws, and investigative hearings that look into specific incidents or scandals. The hearing process has very specific rules. The committee chair, always from the majority party, controls everything. They decide who gets invited as witnesses, set the agenda, and control the time. Each member gets a specific amount of time to question witnesses, usually 5 minutes, which is strictly enforced. Here's something most people don't realize. Witnesses have specific rights and obligations. They can have counsel present, review testimony beforehand, and submit written statements. But if they're under oath, lying to Congress is perjury, a federal crime. They also have Fifth Amendment rights to avoid self-incrimination, though refusing to answer can become a political issue. Members use their time differently. Some seek specific information about policies. Others make political points or create viral moments for social media. This is where context becomes critical. When you see heated exchanges, ask yourself, what's the purpose? Are they seeking information, making political points, or creating memorable moments? Witness response strategies vary too. Some answer directly, others redirect to their talking points, and some avoid answering if they believe questions are unfair or irrelevant. Both approaches have strategic reasons. Here's a crucial point most people miss. Congressional hearings aren't trials. Rules of evidence don't apply the same way. Hearsay is allowed, leading questions are permitted, and members can make accusations without proving them. Congress isn't determining guilt or innocence. They're gathering information and exercising oversight. This means hearings can serve multiple purposes beyond fact-finding: embarrassing opponents, highlighting media issues, building cases for legislation, or scoring political points with voters. Committee structure matters. Different committees handle different issues. Financial Services oversees banking and housing. Judiciary handles court nominations. Members request committees that align with their interests or district needs. A farming district representative might want Agriculture Committee. Someone interested in foreign policy seeks Foreign Affairs. Much of the real work happens before cameras roll. Staff from both parties often meet with witnesses beforehand. They generally know what questions will be asked and expected answers. The public hearing is often the culmination of weeks of behind-the-scenes preparation. Media coverage shapes how hearings unfold. Members know their questions and witness responses will be clipped and shared widely. Social media has amplified this dramatically. A single exchange can be viewed by millions within hours, affecting how both members and witnesses approach hearings. For citizens, congressional hearings are primary ways Congress exercises oversight over the executive branch. This is a crucial check and balance. When federal agencies implement policies or spend money, Congress has responsibility to examine those actions. But citizens need to understand what they're watching. Clips on social media usually show the most dramatic moments, not detailed policy discussions or routine oversight work. This selective coverage can distort your view of what's actually happening. Here's my recommendation. When you see hearing coverage, find out more context. What's the hearing's purpose? Who are the witnesses and why were they invited? What are the key issues and potential policy implications? Most hearings are streamed live and archived online, giving you access to complete proceedings. Pay attention to follow-up too. Hearings often lead to additional investigations, new legislation, or policy changes. Real impact might not be apparent until weeks later when Congress takes action. Understanding the process helps you evaluate your representative's performance. Are they asking substantive questions that gather important information? Are they using time effectively for constituent issues? Or are they focused on creating politically beneficial moments? The hearing we heard raises questions about balance between aggressive oversight and respectful treatment of witnesses. There's legitimate debate about how confrontational hearings should be and what questions are appropriate. Congressional hearings have become more partisan and theatrical over time, reflecting broader changes in American politics. Increased polarization, social media rise, and changes in news coverage. Whether this is good or bad for democratic governance is debatable. As citizens, we have a role in shaping how hearings evolve. Members respond to what they think constituents want to see. If we reward theatrical behavior, we get more theater. If we reward substantive oversight work, we get better governance. Congressional hearings are crucial to how our democracy functions. They're how Congress exercises oversight, how the public learns about government actions, and how officials are held accountable. But for this system to work, citizens need to understand what they're watching. We need to look beyond viral moments to understand substance. We need to evaluate representatives based on serious oversight work, not just memorable sound bites. There's a place for tough questions and aggressive oversight, but also need for substantive examination of policies. The challenge is learning to distinguish between questioning that serves public interest versus political interests. This requires understanding context, knowing issues, and thinking critically about what we're seeing. That's what Signal 76 is here for, helping you become more informed by understanding how your government actually works. These processes affect all our lives regardless of political views. The more we understand them, the better equipped we are to participate effectively in our democracy. If you found this breakdown helpful, subscribe and hit that notification bell for future deep dives into American government. Leave comments with your questions about hearings or other processes you'd like explained. Share this with friends and family who want to better understand their government. Remember, in a democracy, an informed citizenry is our greatest strength. The more we understand how our institutions work, the better we can hold them accountable and make them work for all Americans. Thanks for watching Signal 76, and I'll see you in the next one.